Alright, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take these nifty little things called CA hinges, and we're going to mark off where we're going to put the hinges in the elevator and the stabilizer. So the first thing you want to do is come up with a mark. We're going to look for forced hinges. So the first thing I did actually was I'll take this piece out of here. I already went through and made my mark, so it wouldn't take so long on the camera. But I just went in and I measured an inch. That's what I took for my reference, and I just went an inch into there, which was kind of the center of this bay, which is good. So my CA hinge is 3/4 of an inch wide, so I just made a center from the 1 inch, and then I did the same thing on the other side. I came in from the outside edge 1 inch, and then I just went 3/8 both way to give me the 3/4 inch width. And then I brought my elevator in, and I set that up. Now this is with all the centers on mark. I did all this just so you have a good reference and know where everything's going to be. And then I just went a 1/2 inch from the edge of my joiner wire to come up with my second ones. But if you're going to use a wood dowel, do the same thing. You want to go over a 1/2 inch from the end of where your dowel is going to be, and then just do your 3/4 inch mark, so you're 3/8 each way from the center point. And that way, where you're putting the glue on the stabilizer, there's equal weight across the length, so you don't have a tendency for one side of the elevator or stabilizer to be heavier than the other. Just by that little bit of glue and little weight can make a difference. It's not a huge big deal. There's trims to cover anything that you may happen, but we're gonna anything that may happen you can use your trims for to compensate for. But the truer you build the airplane, and the better you can get it as close to straight as possible, the better it's going to fly. So, but like I said, there's a ton of room for error, and your trims will set that all up, and it's when you get real precise that you want to have a real precise plane and your weights balanced perfectly. So now after we do that, we're going to go ahead and transfer all the center lines down into the center, and that's where we're going to cut out, where all these little grooves are. So we know that my hinge is going to go here, so I'm just going to draw a chunk down that way. Chunk down that way, that's where one hinge is going to be. And right here, we got a chunk down that way. So that's where the second hinge is going to be. And the third. And the fourth. And you can use pencil on this kind of stuff, because depending on what kind of covering you're using, all your marks will show through. But we are going to sand some of this down so you won't have to worry too much about it. And I'm going to take my elevator, do the same thing, mark where all the hinges are going to be. And there's the center line so I can see it better. Now the 1/2 inch might have been a little close for the joiner wire. I don't think I'll have a problem with it, so I went with that anyway. Depends on how your skills are as far as cutting stuff out and drilling through. As you can see, I've diffed some things up, but epoxy's all going to go in there. It's going to stiffen it right up. You're going to have the sanding down. It's going to take care of all those marks. And then you're going to cover it with Monocoat or Ultra Coat or Solar Tex or dope and rice paper or whatever you prefer. So now I got my marks here, and I'm just going to go ahead and cut them out. If you don't have a handy nifty tool like I do called the slot maker, you just take your X-Acto blade and you just want to make a nice slice. We'll start with this here. You just want to make a nice slice through the center of it with your X-Acto. Be very careful with this. You're going to want to do this on the table. I'm just trying to do it so you can see what's going on. And we're just slicing little slots basically in between the marks. Go real light and don't do it the way I'm doing it. Put it down on the table. And you might even want to put a piece of wood down to pick this up or something like that, and then just as straight as you can, you want to come right through because you're going to push your CA hinge through it. So I'll do one with this here, and actually I'll just get that tool. This is what makes life very easy. I have one of these. Couple razor blades. I don't know if the camera can see that or not. That's as far as my lead goes. I'm going to fix this up. Maybe we can get it in. Anyway, just want to go on a straight shot. I set this right into the center of the groove, and presto, I have a hinge hole. Hinging is probably the worst thing to do for me in building an airplane. As you can see, the hinge goes right in, and we're going to do all 4 of those, and then glue them in, and then these will be done. Or you can leave them off until you completely wrap the plane, which is what I usually do. But again, you want these to go through nice and straight. And you can see with this tool how fast it is. An X-Acto blade goes a little bit slower than that. And usually you do this laying down flat or something, you know, just to make sure you're being accurate. But I'm sacrificing. I'm using black ink and everything in parts I know that'll be seen. And I'm doing it all for the good of you people here. I want you to be able to see what's going on, how easy it works, and try to give you a good visual of what's happening. Never force it. Let the machines or tools do their cutting. They'll do the job. Like your X-Acto blade, you try and push too hard, you're going to crack stuff, as you saw what I did when I was just trying to put a center line on it. So I just pushed a little too hard. Anyway, there you go. There's 4 hinges. And then we're going to do the same thing to this side, and we'll put them in, and then we'll go through and we'll sand and bevel everything down, and that'll be the end of it.